Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for April 6th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what kicked off the new week. First up, we got our June live cattle on the board. Another nice day of upside here for this live cattle market. Prices pushing into new all-time highs here today, early off that opening range. Nice early spike up there towards 248.45, printing new all-time high. The remainder of the day's session did spend trading right here around 247, kind of back and forth, but still seeing a nice strong push above those prior week's highs. Bulls are alive and well here. The uptrend still remains intact, and we should see this cattle market keep on pushing into these highs. However, we are starting to get up here into some overbought, overextended territory up here. So if we do start to see some offers rolling in below these prior day lows, we could get a pullback underway. However, any sort of dips should be good buying opportunities. This uptrend remains intact. Any sort of pullback should find support here at these rising moving averages or inside that prior week's range. But in the meantime, we are still trading above this week's bull pivot, and we should see these bulls continue to keep pushing this market higher. Look for this thing to start heading up there towards 250. In the event of a pullback, we should see good buying opportunities, but we're going to slow play it, let it find support before getting involved. But we should see this cattle market continue to climb here into the month of April. Next up, we got our May feeders on the board. A little less exciting day here in this feeder market. Prices did push up above that prior week's high briefly early today. High of the day coming in at 372.62. However, we did see this thing kind of settle back and just kind of chop up here right around 370. This market hanging out in this big gap here that was created back during that during that October breakdown. This market is also pushing up here into some overbought territory. So if we are seeing a little bit of resistance here, offers below today's low should kind of get this market to pull back a little bit. With this big breakout we saw over the last week and a half here, though, the uptrend is alive and well, still remains intact, and we should see any sort of dips be buying opportunities. Pullbacks down here into the 360s should find support. We do have these rising moving averages that will be coming up here and trying to support price from below as well. This upside still looks like it's got some potential here. The bulls are in control of this market. We are not too far off from these all-time highs, so we should see those bulls try and target this area here before this week is up. But if we do see a pullback here in the days to come, we should see dips be good buying opportunities. But this uptrend remains intact, and we should see these bulls keep driving this cattle market higher. Look for both live and feeder markets to keep on pushing up towards those all-time highs. Next up, we got our May corn futures on the board. Late last week, we saw this thing kind of balancing out here down near these the low end of this range. 450 acting as the new range lows here at the moment. Seeing these bulls continue to buy any sort of dips down here below it. Still seeing this market holding on to that 50-day average, even though there has been a couple probes of it. We should see these bulls continue to offer support down here at 450. We have seen pretty wide ranges here in recent weeks, kind of back and forth between 450 and 470. We expect to see that action continue. Bulls need to get a nice strong push up here through 470 and a close above these prior swing highs to confirm that uptrend, but it still looks like these bulls are trying to reload down here. We're going to keep calling this thing range-bound conditions here in the near term. We need to get a nice solid close up here at new highs for those bulls to take this thing up there towards $5. So in the meantime, we are going to expect to see this thing stay range-bound and keep trading back and forth here between 450 and 470. Next up, crude prices just kind of balancing out up here near 110 to 115 today. Prices seeing that nice strong finish last week on Friday's session, closing up there right there around 112 last week. This opened the door to some more upside here after that big breakout there on Friday. This market is only a couple bucks off of this prior swing high from that 9th of March on that big spike up there towards 120. The bulls seeing some good bids here already here in the evening session above 114. If they continue to see some good upside here and any sort of big news coming out of Iran, we could see some more volatility and some more spikes here in the near term. This market is going to continue to just be subject to the news and keep seeing some volatility here while we get this situation ironed out. In the meantime, I'll look for this upside continue here and this market to continue to see some heavy volatility. Next up, equity markets rallying last week. So far today's action, we did see a rally up there towards 450, kind of putting some pressure up on that bull pivot. We can see this market Really building up here on 66.50 here on our intraday charts. We are seeing this thing kind of get balance out here and seeing a lot of equal highs right here around 66.50. So far in the evening session, we have seen an undercut of today's day session lows. We'll see if these bulls are able to reload down here at this prior week's point of control and take another run up here at 66.50. However, this market still has a lot of overhead supply. These major averages all trading below each other should offer some good resistance here. Just going to be seeing some wide ranges. Any sort of opening range breakouts tomorrow or gap and goes above 66.50 could rally up here into the 6700s, try and test that 50-day average. However, we don't really expect to see this thing have some real long-term support and some sustained upside. Just little pops up here could offer some nice little bounces here for this equity market, but we should see some resistance step in here throughout the week ahead. All these major moving averages are going to be offering some selling pressure here as prices pulling back up into it from late last week's rally. We should see sellers step in and try and keep this market capped up here near 67 to 67.50. Look for those sellers to get aggressive here in the next couple of days and try and take another run back down here towards these lows. These equity markets aren't out of the woods yet. We still got a lot of work to do to clean up these charts before we can count on any sort of sustainable upside. So in the meantime, stay cash heavy, stay defensive here. This market still has a lot of work to do before we can start putting money to work. So in the near term, let's sit back and let this market continue to digest all this recent breakdowns and volatility. There will be better days to come to put money to work. That's all we got for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow.